Welcome back to the Get the Truth module. We are talking about the truth about you today. So the truth about you is that you are a gift to this world. You are so valuable. You're so needed, and your presence is really, really important. So today I'm going to have a series of questions that I'm going to ask you. So make sure that you have your journal or your notebook and your pen ready, because these are the transformative questions that are going to make a really big difference in your life. So you're going to be totally amazed at how much just writing down these answers is going to impact your life. Just asking yourself these questions that you would normally never ask yourself or never have somebody ask of you, it's going to give you a new awareness and a new understanding into yourself and into your body, into your mindset about your health and everything that goes along with it. So it's going to be very, very powerful. And I just need you to make sure that you give your full attention to it. Turn off your phone, turn off your TV, turn off everything, and just be fully present with this. Like, do not be talking to anybody else. Don't be in a distracting area. Just be fully here with this exercise if you want to get the most that you possibly can out of it. And to get the most out of it is getting amazing, crazy, life-changing results. So it's very powerful. And today, all the questions that I have are totally focused on the truth about you, the truth about how great you are, the truth about how you are just gorgeous. You are just so beautiful and you are so radiant. And the times when you don't feel beautiful and radiant, it's because some thoughts are coming up in your mind that are proving that to be untrue. And those thoughts are total bullshit. So you get to kick them out the door and say, you're not welcome here anymore, because those thoughts are false. Because there's a big difference, and throughout the course you're going to learn the difference between a true thought and a false thought. And a false thought is anything that tells you that you're not good enough, or you're not worthy, or you're not deserving, or you don't get to have, or you have to work really hard to do this thing. It's all about ease. It's all about flowing. And we're going to talk a lot about this, but you want to start thinking about the analogy of being in a canoe and you're rowing in this canoe. Imagine if you're rowing upstream. You're trying to go upstream. It's really hard. It's super hard to paddle. It's not fun. You're not getting very far. But then imagine if you were to just turn your canoe around the other way and to start to paddle downstream. Paddling downstream is easy. You're flowing, you're going with the current, and it's really nice and simple, and it's working. You always, always, always want to be going downstream in these next 8 weeks and then the rest of your life. Downstream is where it feels easy. It's flowing, it's effortless, it's a good thing. So think about this. What feels upstream? A thought that says, I'm so beautiful, I'm so worthy, or a thought that says, I suck, I can't have that, that's really hard to do, it's really hard to get there. Try and turn away from the upstream thoughts and head downstream with every thought. So just knowing, having this all-encompassing knowingness that you are enough and that anything you want is possible for you, and that health is very, very achievable. The body that you would like, your ideal body, is very achievable. It's right here. It's just waiting for you to grab it. Just know how easy to access that is. So that's very, 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 very important to this process, is knowing how easy to access that is. So the truth about you is that you're a gift to this world, that you are amazing, and don't you ever doubt that. Know you're so valuable and you are needed, and what you do is important. And who you are in your presence is important too. So taking care of your body and being your best self, your healthiest self, is your gift back to the world. That's your responsibility to take care of you. And I'm going to get into these questions now. So grab your notebook or your journal and your pen, and we're going to start writing. It's time for the transformation to begin. Are you ready? Okay, so question number 1 is, when did you first not believe that you're beautiful? When was the first time that it came up to you, came up in your mind that you weren't beautiful? Try and think back as far as you can. Try and think back to the very first time that happened. And I'm gonna encourage you to pause the video right here and take some quiet time to reflect into that. Maybe you wanna close your eyes. Maybe you wanna take some deep breaths. Maybe you really wanna transport your mind to that space where that is. and just know that you're gonna get there. You're gonna take it back all the way. So when did you first not believe that you're beautiful? Who was the first person that said that to you? What was the first time you heard it? What was the first thing that made you think that? And take time to write that down. So pause me if you need to. And we're gonna move on to our next question. So next question is, do you remember the first time that you didn't like how you looked? You remember that time? If you can't remember it, try and think about the last time that you felt like that. And I want you to really, again, pause this video and really take some solid time to write down what that feels like for you, or what those feelings were. So remembering the first time that you didn't like how you looked. Why did that come about? Was there some kind of a scenario or some kind of experience that you had that made you feel like that? A lot of my personal one-on-one clients who do this exercise and write this question down specifically, they access something that they haven't thought about maybe ever. And if this is the case for you, good. That's very powerful. And if it feels painful at first, that's okay, because you're gonna move through it, and I'm gonna give you plenty of action steps in how to make this feel really good and move through it and move past it in a way that helps you transform your body. It's really good that this stuff starts to come up, because that's how we can move it out of the way. Otherwise it'll stay stuck inside of us for a long time. We might not even know it's there, and it just keeps coming up and bubbling up and bubbling up in everything we're doing, and then it just like seeps into all the things in our life, and you don't want that. That's why it might be hard to lose weight. So if you're having these thoughts come up of maybe the first time you didn't like the way you looked, like that might be a thought that pops into your head more frequently than you even realize. So you might be thinking on a daily basis, like having this thought come up, but a scenario where maybe somebody did a certain thing, or somebody made a comment about what you were wearing, and maybe a lot of people like agreed with it, and you didn't like that, you didn't like how you looked because of that, you decided that that's how you shouldn't be or shouldn't look because that didn't feel good. Then if you have that come up again where you have to get dressed for something and there's a big group who might judge you, then you're gonna have all these thoughts come up about like, oh, I just don't look good in anything, or I don't like how this looks on me, or I don't like how I feel, or I'm not good enough, or what if they laugh, or what if they don't like it, or see what I mean? All these thoughts that just start popping up, and it can be a series of so many of them. But once this comes up, then you are accessing something that you have not had power over accessing in a long time. Normally you don't have the power with it, you're just thinking the thoughts, and then they're affecting you. They're affecting your body. Those thoughts are literally heavy. You feel them. You feel that weight. I know anytime that these negative thoughts pop up in my head, like the last thing I want to do is go be active and go get in a workout. The last thing I want to do is make healthy food choices. All I want to really do is just kind of lay on my couch and do nothing. Kind of veg out. So having good thoughts is going to energize you, and it's really important to bring them up. So make sure you write that down. Pause the video if you need to. We're going to move on to our next question. Next one is, what parts do you love about your body? What we're gonna start doing now is just really focus in on what you like about yourself. And when you can hyper focus on what you do like, it takes the focus off of what you don't like. And the more you focus on what you do like, the more you're gonna get of what you do like. The more you're gonna love yourself. And that's the space that we're moving into, is just loving ourselves and loving our bodies all the time. So if it's kind of hard to distract yourself from the parts of you that you don't feel like you like right now, the best way to do it is just focus on what you love. So that's why this is so important to just write this down. I want to hear about every part of you, of your body that you love, that you really do like. I was having such a hard time, when I told you about that time Josh sat me down and he said, hey, look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're beautiful. And I just couldn't do it. All I could do was pick out the parts that I didn't like. And he's like, okay, I'm sure there's some parts that you like. What are they? And there were certain things, I was able to pick out like a couple things on my face that I was like, oh yeah, I like that, or I like this. And then instead of focusing on all the parts of it that I did not like, then I was focusing on what I did like. And that started to feel a little bit better. And as I started to feel a little bit better, I started to like a little bit more about me. And then I started to like a little more. So it's this spiral in a good way of positivity that you want to get on. You want to get lots of momentum going. The Compound Effect book calls it Big Mo. You want to get the big momentum going in the right direction. And that's what this is going to do. So pause the video, write down the parts of you that you love about yourself, just parts that you truly love. I know that there are quite a few in there that you're going to say, yeah, you know what? I really do love this. I think this is really cute about me, or I really like that. So go right now, write those down. Next question. What do you think somebody would say is your best trait? This is something that allows you to really look at yourself from an outsider perspective. What would somebody say that they really love about you, that they really think is super beautiful, that they admire, or is just super unique about you? That's what you want to write down now. And by doing this, you're going to be able to kind of like step outside of your body and be somebody else and look at you and say, you know what, that's really beautiful about me, or this is really beautiful. And what comes up for me, what came up for me in the beginning when I started focusing on the parts of me that I felt were beautiful, was I started to feel like it's not okay to say that stuff. I started to feel like, ugh, that's like saying I'm full of myself. And I always felt like that was a bad thing to be full of yourself. But the truth of the matter is, listen to the words in themselves, full of yourself. Of course you want to be full of yourself. Why wouldn't you want to be full of yourself? Being full of yourself means you love yourself. And you really do want to love yourself. And, you know, there was a big misconception in my mind between somebody who really truly loves themselves and somebody who says they love themselves when they really don't. The person who says they love themselves when they really don't is the kind of person that's really like irritating and a little bit nagging, and they talk about how great they are, and you just like, your BS radar kind of goes off and it's just like, I don't like that. That doesn't feel right. And the other person who is truly feeling beautiful can say that without saying it in a way that's like in your face. It's just like saying, hey, it's more inspiring than trying to motivate or trying to make an appearance or seem like something. It's just a truly an inspiration where you're just saying like, I love my body, I think I'm very beautiful, and I am a gift to this world. I want you to be saying that consistently and just knowing it, because it's so true. It's so, so true. And it's a shame that anybody could ever feel any way other than that, because that is the truth. So don't trick yourself into thinking that that's not true if you ever do that. You are totally, totally gorgeous. You are totally beautiful. You are just the most unique goddess, amazing, sparkly unicorn out there. I'd love to go to that level. You're just awesome. So just know it. So write down, what trait do you think somebody would say is your best trait? Pause the video and do that now. And then I have one more question for you when you come back. Okay. Last question. I want you to think of somebody that you just love, admire, and you look up to. Who is that person? What do you like about them? I've seen people ask this question before, and they say to think about Oprah, because a lot of people love Oprah. There's definitely some Oprah haters, that's for sure. But maybe if you like Oprah, then she might be a good person to talk about, or you might have your own person that you admire. Whoever it is, think about them. Now I want you to write down what your favorite thing about that person is. What do you love about them? What makes them so great? What makes them admirable to you? What makes you just love them? Write that down. Pause me and write that down. So, next thing I want you to do is, it's really cool, is just know that, take a look at what you wrote down. What did you write about that person? What you wrote down is what you love about yourself. And when I ask this question to a group full of women, I get a variety of different questions. So if I said Oprah and everybody were to pick Oprah, then what they loved about them would be different from person to person. And that's because Everybody is seeing in her what they see in themselves. Everybody is just a reflection of you. Your opinion of somebody versus somebody else's opinion of someone is just a matter of where you are in your mindset. So what you love about her is what you love about yourself. And know that. Did you say that she's strong or inspiring or powerful or amazing, or what did you write down? Whatever that is, that's what you feel about you. And I need you to start owning that. I need you to start knowing that you have that in you. You see it in her, you have it in you. That's how it works. And that is really strong to know, that you are that powerful, amazing, beautiful woman. Maybe you want to try this again and do it with somebody who you admire in a health world. Maybe somebody that you admire how they take care of their body, and you point out what you love about them. And just know that that's what you have inside of you. And just know that you have this endless power. And that's the truth about you. That you're a gift to this world, that you have unlimited power, that you are beautiful, you are totally limitless, anything is possible for you, and anything can happen with enough practice. And that's what this course is all about. So we're gonna get really, really clear in the next couple of videos about what you want so that you can get clear on how to get it, how to create it. So, because the hardest thing of all of it is just deciding what you want in a really clear way. Because once that's created, then the ways will come to you. That won't be the hard part. So the most difficult, challenging will be just writing it down, which isn't even that hard. And that's very downstream, right? So it's really exciting. I want to thank you so much for being here with me on this video today. I know it's super powerful. I know you're learning a lot about yourself, and I want to hear what insights you liked. So make sure you go over to the Facebook page and leave us a comment just saying, hey, this was my favorite part about the video today. I really love this, or I got this out of it, or this is what I realized about myself. And just remember that the Facebook group is this place, it's a community, it's a family. This is a spot where you get to celebrate you. You get to celebrate your wins. You get to celebrate what's going really, really well. And we all receive you. We all admire you for that. And we're all gonna cheer you on and say, good job, we love that about you too. You did so good. It's just a really good place for that. And remember too, that it's also a spot to say, hey, guys, I fell off track. Or, hey, I'm having these negative thoughts. Or, hey, this isn't going so well. You gotta be brave and you gotta be real, because there's a lot of women in the group and everybody's gonna feel you on it. Everybody knows what that feels like. I know what that feels like. I can be there for you and say, hey, this is what helped me. Or this is what's been really fun, and I can guide you and I can coach you. That's what I'm here for. I'm your coach. So definitely make sure you utilize that. And be writing on the Facebook page all the time. And don't forget to not only just write on the Facebook page about what you're learning, but to comment and like everybody else's posts, because we're a family now. Everybody in this group has similar goals as you. Everybody in this group is amazing. Everybody was drawn here for a reason, and you're supposed to be here for a reason. You're supposed to meet each other and know each other, support each other, guide each other, and love each other. So let's do it. Let's freaking do it. You're doing so well. Continue to write your action steps from the first video about those limiting thoughts that are coming up for you. We're gonna utilize that in the last video. And then let's make sure that you finish these questions, because they are so powerful. I'm so glad you're here. I love you. You are amazing. I'll see you in the next video.